Hey Leo, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to see what we have going on for the first half of June. Nine of Swords, okay? First card out, many cards to go. It's not that bad. We're talking about a short amount of time too. I think it's difficult to go full Nine of Swords all at once. So, Six of Swords with Judgment. Alright, the easiest way to put this is if Judgment's kind of like the divine justice card for me, where something has to switch, something has to change and evolve, and you have to move away from something in order to do that. It's like you can't stay in the same weather if you expect stuff to grow. Like you can't be up at the Arctic Circle and being like, I wonder why my tomatoes aren't growing. It's like you have to change the climate. Something has to give. And let's see what that is with the Six of Swords. And it's too many as well. But it's basically like High Priestess, Queen of Cups, Three of Pentacles. It's like you need to work on something and, figure out how you think about things. I don't think it's something that you want to do because you feel a sense of obligation with this Eight of Swords. It's not always being stuck, but there's like a sense of duty, and you might just be, with the Page of Wands, doing your duty on some kind of banal level. You're like, but this is what, in some way this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what you're supposed to do, right? Like, so give me this Nine of Swords back here. The cards are like, bleh. So, not saying this is easy peasy lemon squeezy stuff, because you have King of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. You could be realizing emotionally you need to tap out, but with the Knight of Wands, there might not be a well thought out, I'm not going to say exit strategy, but like, I'm not going to say you're acting out either or being irrational, but it's almost like when you get the itch to change this, it's almost insufferable if you don't. It's almost like you took a deep dive and you're just waiting to hit the air again. The kind of that energy, and you would give anything to get there. So with the Knight of Wands, just watch out if you're being hasty about things, or if you're trying to communicate something, you just don't just be like, you know what, here's some blunt truth for you, enjoy that. Because you're just trying to do what you think is right. And you might, I'm not going to say you're going to crack, but there might be like little moments where you're like, oh, that meme, it was like, that wasn't me, that was Patricia. And that's going to be you, potentially. That wasn't Leo, that was Patricia. But the Wheel of Fortune, it's almost like relief is in sight. Because, like I said, remember how I said Judgment's more the divine thing? If you're still going and you're trying to stay in as calm waters as possible, the Wheel of Fortune's like, okay, come here. Come on, I got the port for you. Because almost like universe saves the day for Leo in a way, where you finally get your breathing room. Because what is that about? Justice. I keep bringing up the Justice card, and here it is. So, yeah. I feel like the decision gets to be in your hands about something, about how something finally kind of plays out. And with the Judgment card, when the universe sees that's too many, but you're able to get some kind of recognition, relief, and you're able to step out of the fray. You're able to step back, because this Nine of Wands, this is like, the wounded healer person who's taken themselves out of the tussle, and you feel, I'm not going to say a sense of vindication, but I almost feel like you get validation that, like, it wasn't just you. Like, people are like, wow, no, that situation was wacky, or like, that wasn't right, like, that shouldn't have happened. And you're just like, I know, right? And it doesn't have to be the end of the world, but it's whatever is kind of bogging you down. And the Queen of Swords, she cuts it out. She puts an end to it. So I like that energy. People are like, Queen of Swords is such a bee. Like, she's so mean. It's like, you know what? Not if you have decisions to make. Not if you got stuff to do. She's not. So what does Leo kind of come around with? Three of Pentacles. Working on stuff. I also point this out. Sometimes it's an apology. Like it's not like a big on knees kind of thing, but it's more of like a mea culpa. It's more of like, well, can we work it out now? Can we work together? Can we maybe figure this out? And I'm gonna pull another card, because is Leo like too far out of this to be like, no, no, no. No, it's too many, but like I said, Temperance is trying to come out, but she hasn't committed. So Leo with this Three of Pentacles, what is that about? Yeah, someone wants to work on something. You know, in horror movies, and I point this out sometimes, it's like the bad guy comes back one last time. And I'm not saying this person's a bad guy, but there is that kind of pop-up. There's like that final test where you're like, you know, is Jason really dead? But yeah, someone wants to work on something. But you need to make sure that, or whatever option you're choosing, whatever pentacle you're deciding, like, okay, let's work on this, it's balanced and fair. And it's something that you want. There's reciprocity there. You know? Because you're done with something that was not working in the past. Like, done. And you're able to make a decision to be like, no thank you. Actually, I want one on justice. What does Leo get to pull, you know, finally pull it together and say no to? Or make the decision on it? So maybe it's not even saying no. Maybe you're saying yes to something else and no to something else. Fully plausible. So what is it? Your options. You have options. So it's narrowing that down and making a decision to be like, yes, this is what I'm doing. Give me one more on the Seven of Cups. I am getting greedy, I'm sorry. I'm just getting super nosy. So give me the Seven of Cups. What is being decided on? What's going to be your stability? What's going to be the thing that is the most nurturing to you? And you're waiting for it. It's like you're not just going to rush into any particular thing, and you're going to wait for the right ship to show up with this Three of Wands. So there is a little bit of a lull, but you're also not rushing anymore. It's like once you get that breathing room, you have a little bit of space to not feel like you're clutching onto the first thing, or like, no, this is it. No, it's that. No, it's this. No. So take your breathing room to decide whatever this is, if you do want to work on something. So let's see. Let's get a... Oh, Rhoda Cruz. I love this one. Sorry, I get like so excited about it. Calming, mindful, revealing. So this is the one that open your heart to love and take the first step on your journey. Everything you do with an open heart, regardless of outcome, helps you evolve. So your rhodochrosite is a big self-love one. That is the one that balances you and how you feel about yourself, so that other people are kind of like, oh, hey, I feel that vibe. So I know it sounds cheesy. Actually, I'll give you one more, because sorry, I was like a total Hallmark card on that. But Opal, magnifying, emotional, and prophecy. Drawing this card signifies it is time to focus on love and emotions. Are you honoring yourself, seeing clearly, and listening to your heart? So yeah, whatever has you in your feels, we need to kind of just, you know, Six of Swords, get to calmer waters and take it from there. All right. You might just be doing the right thing, but is it the right thing for you? So let's move into, I did that totally backwards because I was like, let's do this crystals right now, because we still got to do the oracle, don't we? Right? So this is like the Wheel of Fortune card. This is lilies. This is destiny. That's kind of like, you know, time's a coming. We're moving on, moving up, moving out. So with the rose and the swords, something is okay. The rose is like an offer or whatever, but it kind of leads to kind of these, I'm not going to say petty arguments, but there's kind of like a one-upsmanship. There's a pokiness. It's like you jab, I jab. You jab, I jab. Like, you know how fencers go like, en garde. And like they're just trying to poke. There's not any kind of definitive anger. It's just kind of like this uncomfortable back and forth. But at the heart, it might be good with the rose, you know? But there's a longing to switch this up. You know, if anything, this is that Six of Swords energy where you're like, can we just go? Like, can we get on this boat, please? But it might take a little longer than what you want. But here's the person and here's the key. So like I said, are you getting hung up on a person? Because here's the mice. You know, something's not right. Something's not adding up. This combo is kind of like that Nine of Swords energy where you keep kind of turning things in your brain. You're like, but I'm trying to make it make sense. That's what I'm hearing. You're trying to make it make sense. But here's the heart, the anchor, the book, and the tree. You know you have obviously emotions attached to this. Something is grounding you, but it also potentially could be holding you back because the anchors kind of keep you where you are. The book, there's some kind of knowledge. There's something that you know, and the tree is longevity and health. So something's kind of grounding you and holding you back from being kind of like fully healthy, fully realized. And that could be mentally, physically, whatever it is. And I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying the tree is kind of like that longevity health aspect because trees take a while to grow. You don't feed them right. You don't treat them right. They're going to grow funky. And the book is knowing that on some level. So let's see. I want to do the lily and just see what that is talking about back here. You're just trying to keep things on track. Remember I said there's like just you're doing the right thing. Trying to do the right thing. And you're going to kind of try and communicate that like stuff needs to change. Things need to go, things need to move. And I feel like, you know, storks change stuff. If it's not right, you remember how I said you can't grow tomatoes in the Arctic Circle? Like you kind of have to switch it up. So give me one more on these mice and then we'll close it. Someone's going to meet you in the middle. Some kind of agreement. If someone's not meeting you in the middle, remember we had this Two of Cups energy too there, that someone can kind of meet you and make it work out. So Leo, do what's right for you. And, you know, that's what I have. And I will talk to you later.